My sister, who lives in Wisconsin, where I grew up, called and said she had just been diagnosed with stage 2 breast cancer. And I said, you know, I just had my mammogram and it came out normal, but there was a letter with the report, and the letter said, if you have dense breast tissue and if you have another risk factor for breast cancer, you may talk to your doctor about getting an additional test. Suddenly I had an additional risk factor with having had my sister diagnosed. So I went back to my doctor and she looked at that letter and she said, well, I guess this means we should send you in for a CAT scan, which was scheduled, and on that CAT scan is when they found a very small stage 1 ductal cancer. There are many benefits to being diagnosed early. First of all, you know up front, and they assure you that this is very survivable, definitely curable. With the early diagnosis, you have the option of having just a lumpectomy. In my case, I had the option of getting proton therapy instead of traditional radiation, and that made all the difference. I felt kind of guilty that my sister, who was the reason that I had early diagnosis, had to go through surgery. She had a mastectomy. She had to go through the plastic surgery and be rebuilt. I mean, it went on for over a year. And with me, I had surgery in April. When it healed up, I had the option of the proton therapy, and that was just going in for therapy twice a day for 5 days. I mean, that sounds, you know, sort of science fiction, but I was really, really fortunate to have that. There was no downtime. It didn't interfere with, well, because of the time commitment, it interfered with a few things, but in terms of my physical activity, it didn't stop anything at all. Get the the yearly mammogram for sure. Do the monthly self-checks, because most of them maybe not that hidden as mine was. And mammograms do pick up the majority of early cancers. If you have additional risk factors, don't be shy. I mean, I had to make a second appointment, go back to see my doctor a second time to really put this in front of her and say, hey, what do we do about this? You're your own best advocate, and if you don't do it, nobody else is going to look after it.